The year is 2023, and a once beloved game developer's reputation is in absolute freefall.
Yup.
What was at one point probably the highest rated developer in the industry, a studio that pumped out classic after classic.
They made new genres in gaming, and all their games were so good that you will always trust them. They were so understanding of the player base, and they made the fantasy the player base always wanted, and all of their games were like masterpieces. So it's like insane how bad it has turned from being pure masterpieces coming out left and right to what we have now.
It's now become the home
to Diablo 4,
incomprehensible,
Diablo Immortal, World of Warcraft,
corporate greed, broken promises, botched releases, stolen prestige.
Overwatch 2, man.
This is the story of Blizzard Entertainment.
I think like Blizzard for me has always like pushed the needle a little bit, like for a long time, but I think like Overwatch 2 was probably my last straw where I was like, you know what? There's not that Blizzard is actually like it's over, man. It's actually over. Are you gonna play that right away? Holy. That is an old
title. The year is
title.
1991, and three guys have just graduated from the University of California.
The Kings.
Alan Adham, Michael Morhaime, and Frank Pierce. They get together to create a game development studio in Irvine called Silicon and Synapse. The name is deeply philosophical and well thought out, with silicon representing the building block of a computer, and synapse the building block of a brain. However, people keep mistaking the silicon part for the material in breast implants. Anyway, they spent the first few years porting games to different systems, but soon begin producing their own original games.
That is like the start of gaming, actually. It's kind of funny to think that most times, like in the 1980s, 1990s, like there was just a bunch of boys like sitting in garage making games, and that's how all the big classic came out. Like they all came out by just a bunch of like nerds chilling out and making games together and having a good time in the garage of somebody's mom's garage. That's insane.
With the Lost Vikings in 1992 and Rock and Roll Racing in 1993. Eventually, they get sick of constantly being mixed up with women's breasts, so they decide to switch things up, changing their name to Chaos Studios. However, a company based in Florida already has the trademark, and are now asking for $100,000. They then decide to change the studio's name to Ogre Studios.
Really?
But in 1994, they're acquired by a holding company for a few $1 million. And turns out, their new owners aren't a fan of the new name. Okay. So they flip through a dictionary.
It's Ogre now.
And, oh my god, there it is.
There it is, man.
In 1994, Blizzard releases their first self-published title, a real-time strategy game called Warcraft Orcs and Humans.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Sierra own Blizzard? Like at this time, didn't Sierra like take over Blizzard? Like whenever they changed the name to Blizzard? I think that's the case. And Sierra made like all of these top 10, like the best games out there for PC. Like they were all like point and click adventure games. Did I hear Sierra? Yo, Hog, thank you for the raid, buddy. Thank you so much. How was your stream, man? Hi, Hog. Hi. You're talking about Sierra. We're talking about Blizzard, man. We're talking about Blizzard. 90s was the RTS time and point and click adventure time. Like King's Quest. Dude, I loved King's Quest, man. King's Quest is an absolute classic. I played the fuck out of Sierra games when I was a boy. Bro, King's Quest is the only Sierra game I played, I think. I love King's Quest, man. I always love the deep fancy stuff. And it's like, how was your raid? Like, how was your stream, I mean? What were you doing, Pee-wee? Laura Bow 2 and the Dagger of Ammon-Ra. Oh, I know that one. PoE, man, just grind it. Did you see Zach react to I made Zach in Dragon Dogma 2. Did you see his reaction, Hog? Man, if you have not seen it, dude, you should check his YouTube. Dude, he was so fucking... It was so good. It was so fucking good. I'll go check it right now. Yeah, it's so good, dude. It's so good. It's better to watch the VOD. Let me send it to you. Better to watch the VOD part because, like, he's, you know, like, it's like it's the pure experience. But yeah.
And it's
Or
an
do
instant
Hog? I hope
success.
you're doing good, Hog.
It's one of the earliest
Thank you
real-time
again for Raid.
strategy
Hi,
games
Raider,
to
how you
hit
doing?
shelves, and it's a blast.
Just watching a little
It
bit of
also
Blizzard
has a
video.
modem and LAN multiplayer,
Ooh,
meaning
I
people
love
can get
LAN.
together and go ham.
I haven't done a LAN since ever I was a teenager, man. But I'm gonna be honest, LAN parties was the shit. It was such a good time. Just go, like, the worst part is just getting your PC over to somebody, but it was such a different experience. I feel bad in a way, man. I feel like couch co-op, like playing Halo 2 on the TV with split screen, getting your PCs together at a homie's place and do LAN parties. That magic is gone. It's like completely gone now. I don't think like the younger, like people nowadays, I don't think they will ever experience that shit. It was such a fun time. It was like something different compared to playing like online. It was like so different. LAN with the homies, Guitar Hero, and Halo 2, 3. Halo 2 was such a good time, man. I would do anything for that time back. Yo, Cybermonks, how you doing, buddy? Hi.
And the game does well, selling 100,000 copies in the first year. And for
They
the
were
first
doing
time,
well.
Blizzard Entertainment is profitable. They follow it up
My
with
first Blizzard game was Warcraft 3, by the way.
Warcraft 2 in 1995.
Somebody gave me the CD through it.
It's another home run.
Was hooked
Critically
instantly.
acclaimed, and now selling over 1 million copies
Ooh.
in its first year.
That's a lot of money.
It's now 1996, and a company called Condor Games is looking for a publisher for their nearly complete game, Diablo. Blizzard has a little look, and they like. So they buy them and rename them Blizzard North.
I didn't know that. Blizzard North, by the way, is not a thing anymore.
It's also at this point that Blizzard notices something. Warcraft 2 had picked up a lasting online player base, mostly through third-party networks that connected players over this magic new...
So Diablo 1, the original Diablo was never made by Blizzard at all. It was made by a different company. They just bought it up. I feel like I've been living a lie. So you're telling me the big franchise of ARPGs was created not by Blizzard, but by somebody else. Damn.
thing called the internet. So they decide to make their own, Battle.net. Its original functionality is very simple,
Yeah.
with the ability for players to chat to each other and search for a match. But on December 31st,
Revolutionary.
1996, it launches alongside Diablo, and people log on and play. Diablo is a massive hit, also selling over 1 million copies within its first year. In 1998, Blizzard launches StarCraft, an RTS set
No,
in
you didn't
space.
really.
It sells bigly and quickly grows a massive esports scene.
And also,
Space.
I feel like
It's-
StarCraft, like if you look at the graphics of StarCraft 1, like this is so acceptable. Like I feel like Blizzard, like with all of their games, their graphics were so good. It's pretty timeless. Yes, I think that their style, the way they stylize things just really just clash well together, and it doesn't age that bad.
Sells bigly and quickly grows a massive esports scene. Diablo 2 launches
Nah,
in
y'all just like drinking lumpy milk? What do you mean? No.
2000, another smash hit. It reaches almost 3 million sales by the end of the year, becoming the fastest selling PC game of all time.
Damn.
In 2002, Warcraft is back, and now it has an extra dimension. Warcraft 3 sells 1 million units in just 1 month, immediately becoming the new fastest selling PC game. It also releases with a campaign editor, which spawns a series of popular mods like Defense of the Ancients. And after its expansion in 2003,
That is a good game.
it's all hands on deck for Blizzard's next project.
I did so many Warcraft 3 mods whenever I was a kid. I loved Warcraft 3 so much. Like I remember still to this day, whenever I went by my homie Trim and he showed me World of Warcraft, and he's like, dude, you remember that game this guy gave to you and you've been playing it? And then it's like they made a different game and he showed me World of Warcraft. That was the day I was cursed. That was the day he didn't know. We were all kids, but he inflicted a curse that is with me to this day. And that is the addiction of WoW. Man.
The year is 2004, and Blizzard is getting ready to release its biggest game yet. They'd seen how big MMOs like EverQuest were getting and thought they'd try their hand. And after $60 million and 5 years of work,
60
it's
million.
finally nearing release. And
Project
in November
WoW.
2004, World of Warcraft launches. And
Man.
it takes the world by storm, smashing even Blizzard's forecasts.
Isn't it insane that World of Warcraft, the vanilla stage, only took 60 million? Whenever you hear like all of these games that are like a fraction of its size cost like 100 million nowadays, it's insane.
There are so many players trying to log on in the first week.
To be honest,
but then-
MMOs were still pretty experimental at this time. Yeah, I can say so. Like a lot of MMOs were following the same pattern, but Blizzard was really trying to do something different. They tried to make it way easier for people and more like welcoming for new players.
servers have a complete meltdown, with server queues reaching the thousands.
Damn.
Get past the queues and actually into a game? Well, now you're greeted with a ton of latency issues and a probable disconnection, meaning you're now back on that queue screen. After the initial server problems are ironed out and people can actually play, the game sucks people in en masse.
I had such a rough time downloading this game because of the internet's like how slow internet was and how slow the computer were. Like it took me a week to install World of Warcraft. I remember that because of the patcher and stuff like that. How it did is that you open the launcher, it installs the game, it installs the patch, it opens up the game. You have to log into your account, then it configures the patch, and then it tells you to restart to the launcher, and then you have to do the next patch again. So you kept on replaying this kind of format all the time until you were done with every patch. And there was like multiple small patches and stuff like that. You had to relog, you had to do all these processing. It took ages.
Fans are very enthusiastic. It hoovers up awards left, right and centre, and sells a ton of copies, reaching almost 6 million sales by the end of its first year. World of Warcraft isn't like your average game though. Instead of simply buying a copy, players have to pay a $15 monthly subscription fee to play. 6 million times 15 every month. And Blizzard isn't doing too badly. Everyone is
Pixel by
playing the
pixel
game.
in like a minute.
Its
I
ads
do.
go on to feature a ton
All of their commercials were top notch. You could still watch these commercials to this day and have a good laugh. All of them were so good.
celebrities.
I'm Chuck Norris, and I approve this game.
And others like Vin Diesel, William Shatner, Henry Cavill,
Y'all remember,
Mila Kunis, and Dave Chappelle announced their addiction.
Y'all remember the Mohawk grenades? Man, I remember when the Mohawk grenades came out, man, and wow, I was like, damn. That shit, I thought it would be for forever there. Like, I don't know why they removed that. That shit was that was a fun time, like
in
just throwing them
various
around.
interviews. World of Warcraft is everywhere.
God fucking damn it!
World of Warcraft would also result in the launch of BlizzCon in 2005, a massive annual convention that would feature big musical acts and announcements for Blizzard's future games. Fans could also ask the devs questions, and were sometimes even featured. At this point, Blizzard is among the all-time greats of gaming. Every game, a smash. At this point, Blizzard is among the all-time greats.
The fact that EA sits there is so disgusting, man. Ugh. Ugh. Like, look at all of these companies. Isn't it kind of sad to look at all of these kings back then? And how many of them are still kings? How many of these companies are still good? Because I'm gonna be honest, I only see one. I only see one company here that is actually worth it. And that is Capcom. Capcom has been killing it. I think, no. Fuck no. I don't like Sega. Dude, Sega with their new game plus has to be paid extra. Nah, fuck off. I don't think, I'm not the fan of Sega, but like Sega is all right. These five actually are completely utter dog shit. Capcom is still a king. Sega is all right, but I think they're not comparable, man. Capcom extremely hit and miss. They didn't miss for the last 4 years though. They have been releasing fucking legends after legends. The Resident Evil 7, 8, 2, 3, 4 remake, Monster Hunter, and also now with Dragon's Dogma and Street Fighter is taking the fighting scene to a different level. Man, Capcom keeps on releasing fucking W's. It's insane. While all of these companies here, all of them are disappointing in one way or many ways. Konami has given up. This is like a Pumco machine company now. They're not a gaming company anymore. They do Pumco like bullshit.
Gaming. Every game a smash hit. They could
Yeah,
do
Gamba
no
machine.
wrong.
Yeah, that's their main business.
But
But
first,
Bethesda is close behind, in my opinion. How can you say that with Starfield? With Fallout 76? How is Bethesda anyway close to Sega? Bethesda has only released the last 10 years absolute dog shit games.
flying a plane is easy. Just get in, flip a few switches, and you're off.
Yeah. Most ships now are automated.
But in War Thunder, it's even easier. And a ton of fun. Jump into intense PvP that takes you from the ground to the sea, all the way to
Is this a
the
War
skies.
Thunder ad?
In
Because I
fact,
fucking hate
War
this.
Thunder is them
I'm tired of
turned a
listening
few
about this
heads.
game.
One of those heads, Bobby Kotick, CEO of turned a
Bobby.
few heads in the description or the pinned comments below.
Bobby's World, baby. Bobby's World. Modern Blizzard. Ooh.
The
You don't
year is
like
now
that.
2006. World of Warcraft has almost 10 million active subscribers.
That is
and
a lot.
bringing in a
I
ton
remember
of
that.
money.
I remember this day whenever people were talking in chat, like they were talking in trade chat, mentioning like Blizzard has now 8 million sub, 9 million sub. They were like always hyped about the fact that game was growing. It was such a good time, dude.
So naturally, it had turned a few heads. One of those heads, Bobby Kotick,
Ooh,
CEO of Activision. Now in
Bobby.
2006, Activision had made good tracks in just about every genre of games, except one. And one that was now booming, the MMO. With Warcraft currently bringing in over $1 billion a year in subscriptions alone, he's interested. Now at this point,
Smart.
Blizzard has changed hands numerous times, and is now owned by a company called Vivendi. So Kotick approaches Vivendi with a proposition. Vivendi receives money, Activision receives Blizzard. However, Vivendi says no.
Nah.
Instead, Vivendi offers to merge their gaming subdivision with Activision, with Vivendi owning a majority share in the resulting company. And after a brief hesitation from Kotick, in 2008, the deal closes. Activision Blizzard opens its doors with Kotick as CEO.
This is the downfall. But this guy knows business.
And Activision and Blizzard, now its two subsidiaries. Blizzard would supposedly retain most of its autonomy and keep their CEO, co-founder Michael Morhaime. It's now 2010, and Blizzard has gone from just under 500 employees before the launch of World of Warcraft to now over 4,600.
Jesus.
The majority of whom are preparing for the launch of StarCraft 2 in July, and the third major Warcraft expansion.
He's not a guy, he's a marketing demon.
Now,
Yep.
these launches were not small. Warcraft had been hitting peak after peak of players, and was now at 12 million monthly subscribers, and StarCraft 2's sales projections are also sizable. But Blizzard currently has a problem. Their forums. They're a little bit toxic. Blizzard has a big team of moderators, but according to them, this still wasn't enough. So behind the scenes, they get brainstorming, and someone has a brilliant idea. How about we just force everyone that posts on our forums to use their real first and
I remember this, man. I remember when this happened. This was an awkward time to log in. I remember whenever I logged into WoW and I looked at Battle.net and I saw everybody, my real name stood there. And I saw everyone I was playing with's real name. I didn't really think too much about it, but that was such a weird time. Like, I feel like they broke a lot of security laws in that time, and I don't even understand how Europe didn't like really just break down on it, because they like leaked the information of so many people that time. I was rating IC whenever that happened. Good times. Yeah, it was the end of Wrath. I remember that. Bobby made Blizzard millions, but as the expenses of the players, he knew he could be as greedy as he wanted, and people would pay because World of Warcraft. He knew that it would bring money. That's all he knew, and that's all he cared about.
genius. And
Genius,
in July
yeah.
2010, Real ID is unveiled, and people absolutely hate it. So in an attempt to sell the idea to players, Blizzard's community manager posts his full name on the forum. See guys, it's fine. But almost instantly...
What do you guys think happened then? Do you think that he received beautiful flowers then near his doorstep? Do you think people were like, oh, of course. Well, he did it. So it's fine that we all do it.
People descend on the forum and get to work.
I wonder
and
what
within
happened.
Mere minutes, they find and publish his home address, phone number, age, Facebook, family names, and a list of his favorite music and movies.
And that's the thing. And that's the problem with everybody knowing your name, because then they figure out everything about you. Oh.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough. And after just a few days of being announced, Real ID is scrapped entirely.
Yeah, they needed their own, they had needed to have their own workers be in danger for them to realize this is maybe a stupid idea. That is how far they had to take it.
By 2009, the Warcraft 3 mod Defense of the Ancients had gained a significant following, and had even spawned a whole new genre of games, MOBAs. For much of that time, Blizzard had paid little attention to the mod or the game, but the success of the recently launched League of Legends could no longer be ignored, and Blizzard finally steps in, starting work on their take on the genre, titled Blizzard Dota. Around the same time, and Valve wants to make their own MOBA. They'd hired the head dev of the original Dota mod, snapped up the Dota trademark, and they're calling their new game Dota 2. Blizzard is furious.
They did not like that. They were not happy about losing Dota at all, like the Dota mark at all. They were so mad about it. It's insane. And the fact that Dota was just a mod in Warcraft 3 and they turned it something like it is now, it's kind of insane.
So in 2012, they file a statement.
MOBA, a genre and the tragic consequences of society. Yeah, MOBA should never exist.
Was associated exclusively with Warcraft.
Their window of opportunity. Yeah, they didn't know they had a golden goose egg. And I'm gonna be honest, I think they lost a lot of opportunities with Warcraft 3 mods by not making them real game. Well, I never understood why they never looked at Steam and were like, wait a minute. If Steam can turn mods into real games, to very successful games, why can't we do it? Because they had golden goose eggs in the Warcraft 3 modding community, and they never finalized on it. They never established proper titles around them, and they lost so many good opportunities by doing that. Like, imagine if they made Dota 2 themselves with Warcraft characters. I think if Dota 2 was made by Blizzard with Warcraft characters released before League of Legends, released on the window, or maybe before Heroes of the Storm, not Heroes of Storm, yeah, Heroes of New Earth, that game would still be popping off to this day. I'm gonna be real. It would pop off like crazy and people would still be wild of it. And you wouldn't see all of these clones of Dota, like of Dota itself, because I think Blizzard would just have such an established market. You'll not see that many like copies. I think League of Legends would still be a thing because it's like a little bit different. I think League of Legends would still spawn and it would do probably better and maybe better. But I think it would. I think if Blizzard made a Dota 2 instead of WoW making one, I think it would do way better than Dota 2 is doing now for WoW.
Map editor. However, this argument has issues. See, the mod was created in Warcraft 3's map editor, but that map editor
shit on a great
no
mods, amazing ideas. They never like
ownership
capitalize
of
on
said
it.
Maps, IP, and concepts. They end up settling out of court a few months after, with Valve getting the commercial rights to the term Dota, and Dota 2 releases in 2012. It's massively successful, and goes on to be an esports giant. Blizzard gets non-commercial use of the title for its community, and renames Blizzard Dota to Heroes of the Storm,
That's
which releases
so
in
sad.
2015, and support is canned 3 years later. Blizzard would change its licensing agreements for all future games to include their ownership of player-created maps in an attempt to avoid this.
And that's why no one makes maps in Warcraft 3 anymore, because their user agreement says Blizzard retain all rights in any maps. Yeah, it was a big deal whenever it came out that Warcraft 3 Reforged. Whenever they released Warcraft 3 Reforged, They basically, you have to sign now. They are so salty about Dota that they lost Dota, that now whenever you make a mod, you are giving them the rights to the name and to the ID of the creation whenever you upload the mod. That is how salty Blizzard was by losing Dota. They still are salty to this day.
Ever happening again.
The worst thing is Heroes of the Storm was actually great. I was never a fan of it, but I heard a lot of people liked it.
It's looking like it's releasing
Oh
this
god,
year.
not Diablo 3.
Its development had been a bit rocky, with its dev team, Blizzard North, being canned in 2005, along with their version of the game. But on the 15th of May 2012, the rebooted Diablo 3 launches. The game is horrendous. For one, its launch is horrific.
Oh, the
game
launch
is online.
I couldn't play Diablo 3 for 4 days whenever it came out. It actually sucked.
And turns out there are massive server issues. People are spamming their login details over and over, only to be kicked out by error 37. What's worse, there's no queue system in place, so you have to manually retry every minute.
It was so bad.
This issue takes over a week to fix. Then there's the auction house. Here, loot can be bought and sold using your mum's.
I kind of like the auction house. I never used it to make money. I didn't really use it to make money at all, but I did like the idea of it. I thought it was kind of cool. I don't know why, but I thought it was kind of cool. For some reason, I kind of prefer the real money auction house than gacha systems. I prefer real money auction house than like pay to win stuff. Like, I'd rather you like sell shit to players instead of you selling it to nothing, like you're buying stuff from nothing. You know what I mean?
Credit card. Activision Blizzard gets filthy rich, while the balancing gets obliterated. Endgame content is also essentially non-existent.
Yep.
However, the game sells almost 4 million copies in its first 24 hours, and over time, slowly makes a turnaround.
I want to also say that this is like a little bit, I think is a little bit false information in a way, because like Blizzard hooked WoW players with a free Diablo 3 copy. I got Diablo 3 for free because Blizzard in Wrath of the Lich King, at the end of Wrath, they had this deal of getting Tyrion Charger a mount and also get Diablo 3 for free if you subscribe to World of Warcraft for a consistent 1 year. And I did that, and a lot of people did the same and got the mount and got Diablo 3 for free because of that.
In 2014, the real money
Was it CAD
auction
out?
house is closed.
I think it may be pre-patch of CADA, I guess.
And Blizzard
I'm not
launches
sure.
Reaper
It's so
of
long
Souls,
ago, man.
an add-on praised almost unanimously. They're ready to make a second add-on to the game, but management says no. Apparently, executives see the game as a massive failure,
It was pre-CADA. Yeah, it was pre-patch.
and
Yeah,
demands
okay.
devs jump ship. The year is now 2015. The past 10 years had seen massive expansions to Warcraft, including controversial changes to the game and its mechanics. And player numbers reflect that, now being in steep decline. A growing number of players...
It was so bad that they started hiding their player number. Like, player number went down so bad that they were embarrassed about showing it.
to go back to the days of vanilla, version 1 of the game, back in 2004.
The best one.
One fan
Perfect.
even floats the idea
Best
to
game
Blizzard
ever made.
themselves at BlizzCon 2013. Here's how that goes.
Have you ever thought about adding
no.
servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No.
Okay then, we'll just make one ourselves. And the fan-made Nostalrius vanilla server goes online in February 2015, running version 1.12, a month after the original launch. It's not long before the server gets massively popular, with almost 1 million accounts registered. It's also not long before Blizzard catches wind and brings the hammer down.
I never understood, if Blizzard doesn't want to make the product, I mean, they brought the hammer because they were like, you know what, we kind of want to make it. That's why they kind of shut down Nostalrius, because they saw the success of it and they were like, you know what, maybe we should capitalize on it, which is good. But I think like if Blizzard doesn't want to like IP rights, yeah, sure, but like, I mean, I guess, but like at the end of the day, like there's some form of way you probably not gonna like really, you're not gonna manage to hold that thing away from everyone.
It
For
sent
that
them a
long.
cease and desist in 2016, and the server is promptly shut down. Realizing they were completely wrong about vanilla Warcraft,
Yep.
Blizzard do a full 180 and announce Warcraft Classic in 2017. Back in 2007, Blizzard started work on a huge MMO.
Don't try to
called
humanize
Project
my
Titan.
corporate
It was
hellhole.
described as a combination of Left 4 Dead, Team
Oh, that was a
Fortress,
good game.
and The Sims. But development led nowhere, and 6 years later, the plug is pulled. A massive failure on Blizzard's part, and a major internal embarrassment. However, the team behind it would attempt to rework the remains of the
I hope
story
he
and
explained
assets
this
into
well.
another project. And in 2016, Overwatch hits shelves. And it's amazing. It's critically
He
acclaimed.
doesn't. Actually, let's listen a little bit
across
more.
the board and massively popular, quickly becoming one of the most popular esports titles on the market.
He doesn't talk about it. So Overwatch or Project Titan, which was originally starting out as a StarCraft FPS, later on changed to Project Titan. The idea of Project Titan was more to be an FPS MMORPG. The Overwatch team always sought after was to create an MMO. They always wanted to create an MMO and capitalize on the success of World of Warcraft and try to jump into an FPS MMO like what Destiny 2 is now. What is it called? Warframe is now. They wanted to make their own version of that. They were starting out at this groundwork before Destiny 1, before Warframe was created. They had a fucking brilliant idea, but they never could succeed and make it. So what Overwatch turned into was basically like a project of play testing to get step by step closer to their MMO. But they were too slow. Their focus was too wrong. They started focusing on now esport, and their management fucked up. They have talked more about this with Overwatch 2 as it was their last straw trying to transform the Overwatch IP into an MMO with the PvE mode, but now they completely canceled the PvE mode, which ruined the whole potential and the whole idea of what Overwatch was originally meant to be, and they scrapped the entire thing. Overwatch is a complete disaster and has no significant had no significant change ever made from its base version. It actually got digressively worse from its beta to up until this point, because Overwatch launched as a beta product with fun intended. Fun, just have a good time, play with friends, test out all these wild combos, have fun. And as they proceeded with more esport, they started balancing things. They started blocking players from testing this and that out. And they started going away more from play testing things and trying to make like a product that was an esport product, which would remove the whole entire joy of the game and remove the entire fun of actually what they were, like the entire point of what they were originally trying to make, which just was, it's the biggest disaster. Overwatch is the biggest disaster Blizzard has created. It's insane.
That, paired with their genre pioneering card game Hearthstone back in 2014 that now has almost 100 million players, and Blizzard is looking strong. However, there are problems brewing. See, Overwatch was the last big game that
Blizzard
had
couldn't
in the
make it a
pipeline
game
for
as
while.
amazing as Warframe, no matter how hard they tried, and they know that. That's why it failed. That's why they scrapped it, because they couldn't make it. They couldn't make it at all. They
And
don't have the
realised
talent
they don't
yet.
have much
They
to
don't
show
have the
off
talent for it.
BlizzCon 2018. So Blizzard
Grey
rushes
Mane?
to find something to show off. Got it. Fast forward to November 2018.
Oh no, is this
and their
Diablo Immortal?
presentation is ready to go. They sprinkle a few niche announcements here and there, like a remastered Warcraft 3, but they have one big announcement centerpiece. After 6 long
Yeah, it is
years,
Immortal time.
a
Jesus,
brand
this was a
new Diablo.
disaster, dude. They were hyping up Diablo 4. People were expecting Diablo 4 announcement. A baseline of gamers that are mainly PC players. They all play PC games. And then they announce a mobile game that look worse than Diablo 3 and is pay to win. This was a disaster. You guys not have
for
phones?
mobile.
Like, look, Diablo 2, come play the mobile game that has nothing to do.
I'm amazed, honestly. It's
Who's this bald guy?
this bad. This is fucking insane.
I'm gonna be honest. I still think Zach doesn't. I think Zach has a lot of hair, man. I personally always think that he's not fucking bald. He has he's good as hair. Was I in this chat? I don't remember.
I don't even know like what to even say about this.
Just was wondering, is this
Hope you
season?
have you seen him with his hair down, bro? Brother looks badass. It's not cope, man. Yeah, it's receding a bit, but like he has really fucking good. Like his hair look badass
An April Fool's joke.
when he has his hair down,
have
dude.
Any plans at the moment to do PC?
I think if he took care of his scalp, because that shit is irritated as fuck, and he had the proper vitamins, his hair wouldn't be as bad as it's now.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah, we don't have phones, dude.
The
I
game
hate
effect-
gaming on a phone. I can't do it. It's just so annoying. It's just so annoying to game on a phone,
eventually
man.
launches, and it's bad. Firstly,
Yeah, I want to
it's
play
not even
Diablo Immortal on my Nokia from 2002.
developed by Blizzard, but their Chinese partner NetEase. And turns out, it's monetized to the tits. It costs over
800% bonus.
$500,000 to max out a single character.
800%
and becomes
value.
the worst rated game ever on Metacritic. By 2018,
And you know what sucks? Diablo Immortal is one of Blizzard's most profitable games. Dude, our worlds suck. Like, I'm gonna be honest. If it wasn't for 2023 and 2024, I'm gonna be honest, gaming was shit. But now I think we've gotten so many good releases. I'm not gonna complain ever, but it's sad to see that Diablo Immortal is the most profitable game Blizzard has.
fans are noticing something. Activision Blizzard had been creeping, and Blizzard was changing. See, back in 2013...
Also, by the way,
Activision
hi,
had
Elf
bought
Meta
back the
Professor. Hope you're doing
remaining
good.
Vivendi
Welcome.
shares for about $7 billion, meaning they, and by extension, Bobby Kotick, now had complete
Bobby,
control of both
Bobby.
Activision and Blizzard. Fast forward to 2018, and this creeping had only got worse. Because of the slowdown in game releases, Blizzard's revenues are taking an absolute nosedive. So Blizzard steps in. It pushes the company to cut costs, and gets them to produce games at a faster pace. With Kotick apparently installing his own executives within Blizzard to ensure that happens. Apparently, tired of Blizzard's meddling, Blizzard co-founder Mike Morhaime steps down as president and CEO, and leaves the company after 27 years of work. He's succeeded by Warcraft's executive producer, J. Allen Brack.
J. Allen Brack worked as the president for like 6 months, and he comes back with white hair. He had this brown, long hair, and then he comes back with purely white hair. Bobby has ruined this man. Bobby ruined this man. And I feel bad that this guy, he was a little bit of an asshole, but I feel bad that this man got so much shit when there was mostly Morhaime and Bobby's fault. Like, this guy was left with all the shit at the end.
This guy.
And by the way, you don't want to do that.
What about the Wukong? Huh? Wukong looks sick. It looks amazing. I'm so excited for that as well. There's a lot of good titles this year. There's just some things you just don't even think about.
You think you do, but you don't.
And as soon as this happens, we accelerate. The company immediately prioritizes cutting costs, and the Heroes of the Storm's development team is outright
Bye.
annihilated. Its esports league is also scrapped right
Snapped
before
away.
its 2019 season. As a result, entire teams, commentators, and support staff are suddenly left jobless. And despite 2018 being a record year for Blizzard profits, they lay off 800 employees, almost 10% of the company. They begin
Stop
rehiring
lying.
the exact same jobs
Yeah,
a
I'm
couple of
European.
years later. So going into 2019, people are not happy.
I had that as a notification sound for about a year. Oh my god.
Turns out, over on the other side of the world, and things are happening in Hong Kong. They're not good. Their government has proposed a bill that would give China more authority over them, and that's not too popular. At the same time, Hong Kong native Blitz Chung is participating in Hearthstone's esports league.
Oh no, y'all remember this situation? That was a bad time. I think like after this, like there were so many fuck ups from Blizzard left and right after this situation, but we started with this. Free Hong Kong, baby. I remember it. I think like Asmon had like a character called Blitz Chung, and they asked him to rename it. I think that was the case, and then he changed the name to, that was like Crack Monkey. He had a character named Crack Monkey, then he changed the name to Free Hong Kong. We made a guild also called Free Hong Kong. Like everybody was screaming it left and right, man. That was an interesting moment in time. Because Blizzard didn't really know how to respond. Like, let's see if he talks about it.
And uses the post-game interview to show his support for the protests.
Liberate Hong Kong, revolution for our king.
Something happens. See, Blizzard has a huge player base in China. And to keep that player base available to them, they have to bend over backwards for the Chinese
to please
government.
them.
So when
They
this
suck
happens,
their dick.
they go scorched earth. They take the live stream down seconds after he says it.
Turn that
Slap
off.
him with a
Kick him out.
year-long ban.
Didn't give him this. Blitz Chung won a couple $1,000s, and he didn't even get his prize money. This was such a big thing, and they thought they could just sneakily like hide it away and be like, "Yeah, we support China." But dude, the player base, the Western player base, were like, "Nah, we're gonna non-stop talk about this shit," and people went ham. I had so many friends like cancel their WoW subs. I think I still have people to this day not supporting Blizzard because of this situation right here.
And even confiscate his prize money. Even the guys casting the stream are fired. It's not long before the internet catches wind, and people are furious. At one point, even Congress members have a go.
I know, isn't that ironic?
Pressure, J. Allen Brack
all of
eventually
them.
comes out. He reduces the ban to half a year and grants Blitz Chung his prize money back. He also says that Blizzard's relationships with China had no influence on their decision. Blizzard is starting to look seriously not cool, so they decide to go into BlizzCon 2019 with the big guns, announcing Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. Also, that Warcraft remaster they'd announced at the infamous 2018 BlizzCon is coming out next year. This'll be good. Back in 2015, Blizzard had set up a subdivision to remaster old games, the first of which would be Warcraft 3. And in January...
Here it comes, boys. Are you ready? Oh, things are gonna get fun from here.
February 2020, the highly anticipated remaster launches. And
what a shit show.
oh boy, the game is beyond terrible. Here's why. Before launch, Warcraft 3's advertising touted multiple new features. Over 4 hours of cinematic new cutscenes, more story, and new voice acting. And a complete campaign overhaul, changing the story to be more in line with the current Warcraft lore. But when players log on, turns out absolutely none of this is in the game. This is after being advertised on the website for over a year.
Liar!
There's also a ton of features from the original Warcraft 3 just outright missing. Here are a few of them. No ranked play.
No.
No profiles.
No.
No account stats.
No.
No custom campaigns.
No.
And you know what the worst part about this is? That I didn't even own Warcraft 3 Reforged. I owned the CD copy of Warcraft 3. The Battle.net launcher somehow found my Warcraft 3 like files whenever I launched Battle.net, and it changed automatically all my Warcraft 3 files to the Warcraft Reforged system, and it made all my mods obsolete. It removed a bunch of features that were in Warcraft 3 originally, and it fucked up my whole game. I didn't want to play Warcraft 3 anymore. And I didn't even accept this. I didn't do anything. I don't have Warcraft 3 connected to my Battle.net. I had Warcraft 3 installed through a CD disc. And they just found it and changed all of it for no reason. Oh, it sucked, man. It So bad.
No clans.
No.
No
And when I would
cross-region
just
play for
torrent,
custom
yeah, you have to torrent it, or I don't have the CD anymore. What the fuck? This is like the world.
games.
No.
And no offline play.
No.
It's possible after a few patches, but it's a little complicated.
And you know what actually sucked is that Warcraft 3 used to be my offline game. Like whenever my internet was down, I usually just played Warcraft 3. Like I thought that was the best thing. Just play like custom games whenever the internet is down. Just chill out.
Also,
No more of that.
after some digging, people realize the main menu background is actually
It's still my
Chrome-based
offline
web
game.
app,
Does
and
the
is taking
Reforged
up more
work
of
now
your
with
CPU
offline?
power than
It's
the
so good.
actual game. Online matchmaking sucks and kicks you out all the time. This is without a way to reconnect, by the way. Graphics are worse than advertised.
Treason! Have you lost your mind, Arthas?
The new art direction is bad. 5
Hell
of the
yeah.
game's maps are exactly the same as the original, and poor optimization, tons of crashes, and countless bugs. On top of all of that, Reforged is a mandatory update for everyone with the original game.
Yep.
Own the original with no intention of upgrading?
Yeah.
Well, here's an additional 30 gigabytes of install size anyway.
So
All of
ass.
this amounts to one of the worst launches of a game in history. Within a few days of release, it ends up at 0.5 out of 10 on Metacritic. At the time, the lowest Metacritic score in history, before being dethroned by Diablo Immortal. So naturally, hordes of people pile in to request refunds. But wait, you've booted up the game even just once?
Thank you for
Sorry,
lurking, buddy.
You're not allowed. There's so much outcry about the game, however, that Blizzard eventually caves and starts actually granting refunds. The game is so bad that the entire classic games division at Blizzard is completely canned.
You're fired! Get out of here!
It also causes an upcoming Diablo 2 remake to be pushed back more than a year.
Good.
So it's 2021, and Blizzard's reputation is currently abhorrent.
Their social credit score just keeps on going down. You know what I actually think? I feel like in a way they kind of went up while their credit score in the Western view was just bad, while the Asian view, like the Chinese view, was a good. That thing went up.
Overwatch 2 is just around the corner.
Oh no.
Hold on a sec. Oh god.
You're in
Turns out
big
that
trouble.
Over the last 2 years, the California Civil Rights Department had been
Decision, because that's the American way. American business is the fact that it's all about the executive, the manager, the people on top notch. The rest is just a number, and that's it. Which sucks, but that's the reality of it, and it's so ass. There should be more like protection and regulations around that, but it should be way harder to fire someone in America than it is at the moment. But since it's not, and there's no like downside to it, they can just keep on doing it because they're a business. And end of the day, what does a business care about? Money. All they want is money.
Gating Activision Blizzard due to multiple reports of sexual harassment.
Yep, they can fire you without notice.
By July
instantly. Yep.
2021, they had enough evidence to file suit. The lawsuit states that sexual harassment,
Oh, this
unwanted
case.
advances,
I'm gonna be a little
and
bit quiet
groping
here.
are common within Blizzard, both before and after the merge. This includes the mention of an executive suite at 2013's BlizzCon. It's not a nice place. In fact, some employees literally dub it the Cosby Suite.
Yeah, there it is.
Then there's the alleged underpaying of women, and complaints to both HR and the president repeatedly being ignored. But there was something else. The employees' breast milk.
I still don't get that. Like, why would people drink other employees' breast milk out of everything? Like, why was breast milk like? It's so weird, dude. It's so weird.
In the lawsuit, more than one employee alleges breast milk theft. It was very clearly breast milk.
I wonder, did they find whoever were drinking every woman's breast milk? Like, who was the breast milk thief? Like, who was the thief stealing all the breast milk? Like, that's what nobody talked about them, but like, I want to know who the fuck did this shit? Did they find him? Did they fire him?
Baggies with a baby's face on it, a former producer claims. One day, I went to retrieve my pumped
Was
supply
only
at the
reported
end of the
stolen?
day,
Damn.
and it was gone.
He got away, man.
Fallout is monumental and makes headlines industry-wide. Few people are spared. Current Diablo 4 lead, gone. His character's name in Overwatch, also gone. Level designer on World of Warcraft, gone. Head of
Yeah,
HR,
no milk.
definitely gone. Warcraft League gone. Jay Allen
He was the
gone.
worst
Their
one.
Chief League head of HR, definitely gone. Warcraft League.
This motherfucker here, what he did, he got someone to kill themselves. He sexually abused someone so much and fucked with their mentality so much, they killed themselves. That is what this guy did. And the fact, I think his lawsuit is still going around, but this man should be in jail. Like, that's where this guy deserves to be.
League gone. Jay Allen gone. Their chief legal gone.
Everybody
the Wall
gone.
Street Journal also alleges that
Meanwhile, Bobby's chilling out with like, how many billions did Bobby leave with, man? How many billions did this motherfucker leave with? Fucking Bobby, man.
Otik knew about the whole thing,
Jesus
ignored it,
Christ.
and in some cases,
Fucking he just ignores the whole thing. And he doesn't lose anything, man. Fucking Bobby.
jumped in himself.
Can't
He
believe
denies
it.
most of the allegations,
I did not.
but eventually apologizes for a one-time instance where he left a voicemail threatening to have his assistant killed. That's all fine then. Water under the bridge.
Just a normal day with
Sponsors
Bobby.
like T-Mobile, Coca-Cola, Kellogg, IBM and Pringles also all jump ship from the Overwatch esports league. And Activision Blizzard is hit with a class action lawsuit on behalf of its shareholders.
What?
Overall, the situation's not looking great. Activision Blizzard denies most of the claims, and in June 2022, they investigate themselves and find no wrongdoing.
Oh no.
The immediate reaction to Overwatch 2's announcement was one of confusion. Overwatch 1 was a monetized game with a thriving player base and regular updates. The kind of game that doesn't need a sequel. So this was a strange move. Overwatch 2's development would also mean the end of support for
Overwatch 2 is Overwatch 0.5. That's what it is.
1 in 2020.
It's a
With us
downgrade.
seeing no new Overwatch content for multiple years, essentially killing the game. What? But with Overwatch 2, Blizzard reassures us it was all worth it. Just look at all this new stuff.
Wow.
5v5 instead of 6v6.
Oh my God.
Shiny new graphics.
Whoa.
Balancing changes. Map reworks.
Oh, that's
6
so
new maps,
cool.
3 new heroes. More than 30
Wow.
new skins. A new game mode. A battle
Oh my
pass and
God.
cosmetics shop. And most importantly, a PvE campaign.
Yeah,
People had been longing
PvE.
for a story
You
in the
guys remember
Overwatch
that?
universe, and now it was finally happening. And it was ambitious.
That was
Blizzard
pretty
shows off a
cool.
full campaign, along with hero missions,
How could this
talents,
fail?
and massive skill trees unique
Oh my
to
God,
each
that's
hero.
so cool, a skill
Hundreds of
tree.
missions at launch, they announce. A truly replayable campaign. And don't worry, with Overwatch 2, Blizzard tells us they were redefining what a sequel really means.
Yeah, they were gonna
Overwatch 1 players get
I'm gonna redefine what a sequel is. I'm gonna show you how we can take a great product and turn it way worse than you ever could imagine. Oh my God, Blizzard, you did it again, dude.
all the new maps, updates,
Oh my
and
God,
heroes that
I'm
release on
crying,
Overwatch
dude.
2.
That's
And both player
amazing.
bases can cross-play together. The purchase of Overwatch 2 essentially only granting the PvE mode. Okay, sold. Players are on board. 10th of March 2022, and Blizzard has an announcement. Look, we know we said hundreds of missions at launch, but, well, it's taking a while, so we're just gonna release the game now without it, and add it later. Then in June, they come out again. The game's now free to play and launching in October.
I remember I played Overwatch 2 whenever the PvP stuff came out, whenever it came out. I played it for like an hour. I found it boring. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep it installed and wait for the PvE mode. Because I was kind of hyped for the PvE mode. I thought the PvE mode was really cool.
But anyway, on the 4th of October 2022, it goes live. There are some issues. Events are bad, tons of balancing issues. The looking for group feature is now just completely gone. But mainly, there's the new cosmetics system. In
Oh,
Overwatch 1, earning cosmetics was simple. Just play the game, level up, and earn loot boxes that give you skins.
And currency, so you can just buy skins. I had every skin and I had so much currency I could just keep on buying skins.
Could pay for
It was
them,
great.
but that was completely optional. In Overwatch 2, things are different. Blizzard has now slapped on a seasonal battle pass system, where the bulk of cosmetics
was
would now
bugged.
be unlocked. There's also a rotating store, and the prices there aren't great. You can unlock skins for free through the challenge system, but there's a problem. It takes about 8 months to get one. A simple character recolor takes almost 4 weeks. All of this means that it will take you around 327 years to get all the stuff you could get relatively quickly for free in Overwatch.
I wish there was a rule that would prevent this kind of behavior. I personally think that everyone that purchased Overwatch 1 and purchased loot boxes, whatever in the game, should get a complete refund of everything. Because this kind of practice is kind of... Does it not sound very illegal? Like, I'm just thinking about it in a little way. I release a product. I sell you the product as a box office item. I start selling you loot boxes. You have all of these things you're requiring in this game. You have the box office game. And now we are changing the whole structure of the monetization and releasing the game in a different manner. And now you will not get what you got initially with your purchase, which is like every character for every update. Now you have to buy them separately. Now you have to buy these skins separately. The whole design of the game now is changed. I feel like that's not really the right way to do anything. I think that seems like a way. I think that sounds kind of... I think that sounds illegal in my view, because I think it should be legal to sell you. It's like me selling you well, imagine if it's like me selling you something and then like later on, 2 years later, you expect, oh, I own this product now. I own this thing. And now I'm completely going to change it so that you have no value in it. It's free now for everyone. And everything you do within it is like, it's completely consumer unfriendly. It's just not good. At least a refund should be instantly offered. I think refund should be. I think you should have the option to either get all your money back or transfer all items to Overwatch 2. I would refund the whole fucking thing.
Watch 1. Better get playing. Also, there's now a new hero every other season, and they'd be locked behind the later levels of the season pass.
Yeah.
Your options are, spend every minute of your life grinding for them, or pay up.
Give me money.
In Overwatch 1, they were unlocked straight away. Fans don't take kindly to these changes.
Yeah, I would come back to Overwatch 1 just to try out new heroes. But I can't do that in Overwatch 2 because now I have to play other things I don't want to play.
May 2023, Blizzard comes out again. So, that PvP hero campaign that we've been advertising, and was pretty much the sole reason we made the sequel in the first place, pretty much completely scrapped. No more talent trees or hero missions.
07.
Instead, we're just gonna pepper some PvE missions around every few seasons. This was essentially the entire selling point for the sequel.
That was
Some
the
of the
death of
remaining story
Overwatch.
content is still planned, with its first release on August 10th. But when it finally releases, it's only 3 missions. Blizzard is saying the game won't be getting any more story missions until at least 2024. They also add Overwatch 2 to Steam, and it instantly becomes the worst reviewed game of all time.
Oh, who would have guessed? Here we go.
The year is
We
now
love
2023,
Diablo 4.
and Blizzard's reputation has never been worse.
We
so when
love
4's
Diablo.
release approaches, people are cautious. But on the 5th of June, the game launches. And it's surprisingly good. There are some issues here and there, but reviews are mostly positive, and over 10 million people log in and play, making Diablo 4 Blizzard's fastest selling game of all time. For the first time in years, things are actually looking up. And this game was live service, meaning it would receive 3 seasons of content for the foreseeable future. The first of which
Blizzard
was
is
launching
back,
in July.
baby.
A month later, and in July, Season 1 of the game drops. It is disastrous, and Reddit goes into a complete meltdown. Turns out, everything gets a big nerf, including the Metacritic score. The Sorcerer class, which was already underpowered, is hit especially hard. Then there's the enemies being overpowered, much less XP, a bunch of reskinned dungeons and enemies, barely any new content, and
But
zero
this fucking guy, man.
A bunch
I
of
feel like Zach is everywhere now. It's insane. You see him in every video.
reskin dungeons and enemies, barely any new content, and zero quality of life changes.
Everything here is wrong.
One streamer on Twitch tries to...
I love that they fucked up the math. They had like this video where they were explaining things, and all of the math they explained was wrong. All their calculations were wrong. It's insane. It feel like... Oh, dude, I don't get it, man. Like, it feels like... I don't know. It's the management of Blizzard, but like everybody working there are so incompetent. It's crazy. Basic math too. Yeah, it was... I don't know. It's insane.
Explain why the season isn't that bad. Here's how that goes.
Explosion.
And oh, this one. Oh, I know this one. Ooh, guys, guess what happens?
I actually just lost my hardcore character while trying to explain this to you. I changed my mind. I hate this season.
And it seems Blizzard also has a bit of a fixation on the
Battle Pass, Battle Pass, Battle Pass,
Battle Pass.
Battle Pass, Battle Pass.
Battle Pass.
Speaking of which, it gives paid players 666 platinum. The cheapest item in the store is 800. Also, back when Blizzard was designing the menus for the game, they decided to place the Activate Premium
Hi,
Battle
Ferguson.
Pass
How you
button
doing?
right next to the button you're constantly pressing to see your season progress.
And people, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I think you had to fuck up a little bit to activate the premium pass. Like, you had to click like 3 things or 2 things. You fucked. If you activated the premium pass in season 1, you fucked up. Like, I opened this menu a million times and never activated it. It was not hard. When I wanted to activate it, I activated it with, and it wasn't, it took a couple clicks. Like, people that activated the battle pass did it. I think they were trolling. There's no way. Ooh. But I will agree that it could have been like more like security measures around it for sure.
That's kind of small.
There's also no...
The button hitbox was huge. True, it was very huge, but you had to like be like, yeah, do you want to do this?
So if you want to check your progression and accidentally misclick, congratulations, you've just purchased it. There are multiple other confirmation buttons for other menu options in the game. So Blizzard's last few years haven't been great.
Somehow, Blizzard is now worse than Bethesda!
It had slowly become...
No, I don't think so. Bethy has not released a working game in a long time. Like, look at all of their titles. They don't work. They don't work at all.
Clear to people. With overreach from Activision, more fiscal concern, and most of the original talent having left the company, among other things.
Breast milk?
Wasn't
what does it say?
Original talent having left the company, among other things.
Breast milk thief reveals his identity. Wait, did they find the breast milk thief? They found him. Was it Bobby? It was Bobby. I knew it. It was Bobby. Look at Bobby. He was the guy sneaking around. Oh,
Maybe
God.
Blizzard wasn't the company it once was. And after a back-to-office mandate in 2023, even more talent is leaving. So much talent that Blizzard is now actually creating crisis maps for what content they can and can't get done. But with the acquisition from Microsoft, who's currently focusing on making good exclusives to slap on their Game Pass, some fans are hopeful for change. But for now, the outlook on Blizzard Entertainment remains bleak.
Yup.
And don't forget about the epic accurate...
This was a good ass video. I'm not gonna lie. I think, honestly, I think it's up to the air right now. I think Blizzard has been in a spiral abyss of downfall for like 16 years. And I don't think old Blizzard is there at all. It's been, all the old workers have left. Completely new people working there. It's a completely different atmosphere. There's been going throughout so many up and downs. But I will say, I think that the next coming 1 to 2 years are really going to set an example what Blizzard will be in the future. Because Microsoft has essentially bought up Blizzard and Activision and told Blizzard, you do your own thing. You make your games. They're kind of want to leave them alone and make games. So it really now depends. Will Blizzard make good games? So far, no, they haven't. They haven't. It's been bad. Not been great. But let's see in 1 or 2 years. Let's see in 2 years, how is Blizzard doing? And then we'll truly know if Blizzard is a waste of time or if they have redeemed themselves. Well, time will tell. Time will tell. Hi, Cars. How you doing? Yeah, dire no good inside. It's Joe. Many game companies lost a lot of people with the back to company policies. Yeah, who the fuck want to work at a office? Like, why do these Neanderthals want to go back and do this old type of working, like these old type of working conditions? Like, working at home saves money, time, and you work better. It's already like so many, like, there's already been so much like focus on it, and people have found out that a lot of people's production is way better, way faster, and much more clean whenever they work from home. A lot of people are doing a way better job working from home. Like, working at an office is just an old timers thing, man. So bad. To be honest, Microsoft only bought them because of the IP. Yeah, they did. Hey, what the hell? That's the IP that's OP. They just want to put their games on Game Pass. Say Blizzard is dead, body being puppeteered by some stock necromancer. I agree. Blizzard is dead. It's now just being held by some randoms. But you never know. Maybe they'll use some of their titles and make something good. I agree 100%. I feel like Blizzard needs to reform a brand new identity that is innovative instead of just making gaming theme park games. I think Blizzard should do what they did best in the past, which was copy other people's games and just make it better. But I don't think the talents they have now are talented enough to do that. So maybe Blizzard just have to work on their current titles and make something good. Make SOD WoW great. Make Diablo 4 great. Delete Overwatch 2. And yeah, try something new. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Surely, well, time will tell. Who knows? Who knows? Hi, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe. I'll post videos nearly every day, so if you want to watch any more reactions, feel free to subscribe and I'll see you there.